Okay, so this is a quick video to go through these 4 questions which few of us thought were maybe a couple of the tricky ones from this little exercise. So they're not labelled A, B, C, D because if you look at your questions you can see these are just picked at random. So the first one, just to warm you up in case you had forgotten how to do substitution. So the first thing we look, and obviously one of our options is to expand the brackets and times through and integrate term by term, but we don't want to do that. So we're going to look at our substitution, and so we have to choose a function in U, and we're going to pick the one that I guess has the higher power, right, x cubed, and it's got stuff happening to it. Okay, so we're going to let U be 3 minus x cubed. Now your notation is quite important here, so write it, take your time. We say du by dx. When we differentiate this we get minus 3x squared, and we're quite, well, reasonably happy with this because we can see we've got the x squared here, but it's not exactly what we wanted. We want minus 3x squared. It's only got x squared in the question, so take a little bit of time, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to times this by -3, and I get my minus 3x squared that I want. Because I've times by -3, that's okay. I'm going to undo it by timesing by -1/3. So technically all I've done is times by 1. And therefore now I've got 3 minus x cubed squared by dx. And if I was to I'm going to do this because it's been a while since we've done this. This minus 3x squared is in fact our du by dx. The 3 take x cubed, that's our u, and that is being squared dx. So they sort of, do that little cancel bit there. And it means that what I can now do is I'm just going to integrate u squared with respect to u. So we get minus 1 cubed, u cubed over 3. Don't forget our plus c. And 3 times 3 is 9, so we get 1/9. And what is our u function? It was 3 minus x cubed, and that is now to the power of 3 plus c. I hope that brought back some good memories for you. Have a look at B, and hopefully you're not really looking at the videos unless you absolutely have to, and please make an attempt at all these questions before you go to the vid. Okay, so one of the tips with this one is I would strongly recommend that you see what your 2 functions are. Okay, so with this I would actually break that up, and I'd be looking at this saying this is 4 on x times 1 over ln x, or you could have said it's 4 over ln x times 1 over x. Okay, and so then you get to see, all right, what are our 2 functions here? Now hopefully you've got all your rules handy and you can see those, and obviously we want to find a function whose derivative is going to be the other one. Okay, and if we take x to the minus 1, its derivative is x to the minus 2 minus x minus 2, so that's no good. So hopefully you can see that your function you need is ln x. So let that be u. Therefore du by dx is 1 over x, and we go, aha, because that's what we've got with our first function. So once again, I'm going to take this and do step by step. As you get a little bit more confident, you will be able to sort of skip some of these bits. Okay, so I make sure that I've got my clear functions here. So I've got my derivative, the 1 on x, so that is the integral of du by dx, and that's 1 over u by dx, so they cancel out, and what I am left with integrating is 1 on u with respect to u, and therefore we know that we can now do this. Okay, so that becomes for ln. Do make sure that you put the modulus in there, please. It does make a difference. So that's ln, modulus of ln of x plus c. Okay, so the tip is try and separate your functions, because then it's easier to see what's going on there. The next one, let's have a look. Okay, so we have a look, and some of you might think that you want your function to be e to the 1 take x squared, because that's you've got x and you've got e to the, however, the derivative of e to the 1 take x squared is not x, so go lower. And so if we look at letting u be 1 minus x squared, we're quite happy there because du by dx, okay, the derivative of 1 is 0, and derivative of minus x squared is minus 2x. And so we can easily turn this little bit here at the front, because we've done ones like that before. We can turn that into minus 2x. So we do just that. I'm going to put a minus 2 there. But in order for me to just times that by minus 2, if I also times by minus a half, technically I'm just timesing by 1. Okay, so now 1 minus x squared. Okay, that's du. And now it means that I am saying this is the integral. So this is my du by dx. Oops, that should have been dx there. And that's my e to the u. So I'm actually integrating e to the u with respect to u. So you notice I've left out that step that I was putting in the earlier ones, because hopefully we've got that under control by now. And we love this because the integral of e to the u is in fact e to the u, and my u function is 1 minus x squared. We're done. Plus c. All good? Okay, and lucky last for this little section. Okay, once again, with this one, I think it's easier if you can separate, because you can see here we've got ln x cubed, and the other function there is 1 on x. And we've done ones like this before when we realise, ooh, the derivative of ln x is in fact 1 on x, which means that allows me to say, well, let u be ln x. And you've probably switched off by now because you know, yep, I know how this is going to end, I hope. Okay, so that now becomes, oops, that's a bit messy. So that now becomes the integral of u cubed, because ln was our u function. That's my du by dx with respect to u. So now we've got the integral of that is u to the 4 over 4 plus c, and all that's left for us to do is substitute in our u function. So that was ln x to the 4 all over 4 plus c. Okay, so have a look at the next video for the next exercise. Hope that's helpful.